You can't. Namaste viewers, welcome to our live Hinduism Q&A on Facebook and YouTube. Today is 8th February 2020. I'm Manish and we have Jai Lakhani sir ready to give answer to your questions. We are a Hindu Academy in UK, running from UK, London, and we have a YouTube channel, www.youtube.com and Hindu Academy. Jai Bhai, do you want to say something?
No,
to start
thank
off
you,
with?
thank you, Manish Bhai, for stepping in. Because Nishit Bhai is tied up today with family issues, so it's very good to have Manish Bhai here to step in. I'm very grateful that he is participating. Let's go for it, sir.
Okay. Sir, I was watching this YouTube video on Durga Chalisa, and one of the line in it was Sakti Roop ko marma na payo, Sakti gai tab man pachtayo. Have we forgotten what is this idea of Sakti? And how do we invoke Sakti in ourselves? Because we say, Ya Devi Sarvabhutesu Sakti Rupena Sansida. It is in us all. How do we invoke Sakti, sir?
What a wonderful thing to start the program. You see, in fact, as I said before, the earliest way the Hindus could relate to the idea of a super personality who is kind of controlling the universe was the idea of mother goddess. The archaeological evidence very clearly shows that the Hindus always thought the ultimate reality, if you want to personify it, it has to be in the form of a mother, not a father, mother. Some society are patriarchal. They focus on the idea of God as a father figure. But the Hindu tradition has started by focusing on the idea of ultimate reality as mother goddess. So this is, if you like, very visible. But what's the deeper vision that comes with this idea of Shakti? That's what I want to explore today. The deeper vision that comes out of Shakti is this. Hinduism says there's a principle, just follow me. It sounds a bit, abstract, but please follow me. There's a principle called Brahman, which is the one thing underpinning the whole of creation. Just one thing, not a person, a principle called Brahman or Braha. Now, Brahma is actually a very powerful thought because this is a principle-oriented tradition. All of the traditions, religious traditions, are personality-oriented traditions. I mean, they focus on God, like a without form or with form, whatever, but we are saying no personality, principle. This is one of the wonderful things that comes out of our tradition since very ancient days. And this is Apurusheya, idea Apurusheya. Hinduism is Apurusheya, not focusing on personalities. Now, so as the first personality we could think about was the idea of ultimate reality as a mother figure. So we say, we agree with that. Now, there's a very interesting kind of disjoint between the Brahma that underpins reality and the world that we encounter. How is this transition possible? How can Brahma become this world that we encounter? And this issue remains very difficult to address. Even today, this is a very difficult issue to address. What it is and what it appears is there's a disjoint. There's no direct link. And this disjoint is called Maya. Means something that's very difficult to kind of encapsulate or understand. How can something pure and pristine appear as this jagged world that we live in? And this idea is called Maya. And the wonderful idea that comes with this idea is the word Mahamaya. Means the power that can make this ultimate reality appear as this creation is Mahamaya, and that's called Shakti. See, this is where the idea of Shakti arises at a philosophic level, not at a personality level, at a philosophic level. So Mahamaya, the one that makes this Brahma appear as this creation, is called Shakti. Mahamaya is the lovely name we give. Now you see, just as we have lots of scriptures, there are two scriptures that talk about the idea of Shakti in a very wonderful manner, and these two scriptures are, in the Markandeya Puran, there is the idea of Chandi. So they created 700 verses, just like in the Bhagavad Gita, focusing on the idea of Krishna as the ultimate reality. The idea of ultimate reality as Mother Goddess is seen in the Chandi, in the Markandeya Upanishad. Fair enough. But then you see the deeper ideas come from, if you like, the Devi Sukta of the Rig Veda in the 10th Mandal. It's called Devi Sukta. It's a beautiful idea. These are the key features of Devi Sukta. It says, this ultimate reality, when it kind of becomes visible as this reality, it still shows its colors as follows. It says all the forces, all the powers that all the gods or human beings have comes from this idea of Shakti. This is the idea of the idea of, the Rig Veda. And then it says it appears also as consciousness. See what a wonderful idea. It's the strength-giving thing and the consciousness that we all experience. And the most powerful thing is this. When you look at personality-oriented Hinduism, you talk about Mother Goddess fighting the evil doers, like Mahishasur, and you got all these colorful Puranic stories. Wonderful, nothing wrong with it. But the deeper vision that comes from the Devi Sukta is something different. He said the aim of this Devi Sukta is not to fight a demon who is external, like an outside evil guy that we know we have to kind of destroy, the Mother Goddess has to destroy, but the inner demons that we all possess. This is Devi Sukta. It's a deeper vision, not exoteric, but esoteric, means looking inward. And this is what it says. There are 6 enemies of humanity which doesn't allow our true nature to be visible to us. And these 6 enemies are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Matsarya. This is what Devi Sukta says. My friend, if you are able to, in a way, defeat these inner demons that we all human beings possess, it's not because we are horrible, evil, people, but through the process of evolution, we have picked up these very poor traits of, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Matsarya. And they, in a way, obstruct our view of our true reality. So this is the power of Devi Sukta. And do you know how it ends, Devi Sukta? It says, when you are able to conquer these inner demons, it's not that they are monsters, we are monsters, but we acquire this bad taste, if you like, over so many lifetimes. When you're able to overcome them, then your true nature, the spirit, in a way flows through. And this is a beautiful idea in the Devi Sukta. So this idea of Shakti is very central. And you see, in Indian tradition, we are very pluralistic. So different parts of India will focus on ultimate reality and different personalities. Some will focus on Vishnu, some will focus on Shiva. But the idea of focusing on the ultimate reality as Mother Goddess is a speciality of 2 parts of India. The very, very, very far western part and the far eastern part, Bengal. Bengalis love Mother Goddess, Ma, they're always screaming like that. Okay, fair enough. And Gujaratis, if you go and see any Gujarati film, unless there's a Garba, means all the people dancing around the image of Mother Goddess, singing and dancing, it's not proper, it's not a film, not a Gujarati film. So Gujarat is devoted to Mother Goddess, and it's so nice. In Eastern India, Bengal is devoted to Mother Goddess. But now see, the important thing, look, Manish Bhai, let's make it practical. When we do a marriage ceremony and the bride and the groom are expected to take 7 steps together, he's slowing me down, and that's why I'm calm. They are called Saptapadi, 7 steps together.
Yes.
And the first step they say, become spiritual, my friend. Be spiritual. Husband and wife, try and be spiritual. Wonderful. The next step it suggests is invoke strength. This is beautiful.
Yes.
Shakti. Because unless you invoke strength in your married life, you can't succeed in anything. Material success or personal success or social success is not possible unless you invoke strength. See, we will recognize the power of strength. So in a way, this power is underpinning reality and making this Brahma appear like the creation, Shakti. Tap into that. That's what he's telling you. Invoke strength for you to overcome your worldly affairs even. So it's a very crucial idea. And in fact, the reason why people don't realize, when you see these garbas going on in Gujarat, in other parts of India too, in the time of Navratri, people are going around dancing and singing the glories of Mother Goddess. And I participated in many garbas in my younger days. So he said, what's actually going on? Think about it. When you are dancing, singing the glories of the strength giver, Mother Goddess, through that process of dancing the night away, singing the glories of Mother Goddess, you are invoking strength in society, not just individual. Whole society gets worked up. Navaratri. So this is the power of Navaratri and the power of Shakti. It's a very beautiful idea. Most religions are patriarchal, focusing on super personality as male. We are so fortunate. We get the mommy. We like that your ultimate reality is Mother Goddess, Shakti. And one of the interesting thing I can say is this. There are different, different visions about Shakti.
Yes.
They say, okay, Durga, who fights the evil doers. And they say, Durga also means fighting the inner demons. Then we say, oh, Saraswati, who gives knowledge and learning. Then we say, Lakshmi, who gives wealth and beauty. And these are and Gayatri, that invokes, the idea of spiritual experience. All these are wonderful ideas. But most potent idea of female in the Hindu tradition. Very interesting. When you look at Parvati, the consort, don't say wife, the consort of Shiva, we see the depth of Hindu tradition. You see, with other colorful narratives, you've got 4 arms and 16 arms and Devi fighting all the weird monsters. With the idea of, the deeper idea comes with the idea of Parvati as the escort, not escort, as a consort of Shiva. Now you see, the wonderful thing is, the Saraswati is always shown with white cloth, Lakshmi is shown with red or pink clothes, but this particular personality is shown with all different color clothes. There's no fixed rule about Parvati, what color she wears. And then the other feature is this. She has no extra 4 arms, nothing, 4 heads, nothing. Just 2 arms. And you say, why is that? Surely she's very powerful. She's the central figure of the Mother Goddess. So why is she shown without all these extra, hands and all that? The answer is very powerful. Think about it. Hindus, think about it. He's telling, you see all these women in society, all the wives, the daughters, the sisters, they are the best manifestation of Parvati with 2 arms, no 4 arms. So we are saying Parvati is not just some kind of super being with 4 arms. Parvati is visible as the womankind that we cannot see in our daily lives, giving the highest dignity to ordinary, what we consider ordinary woman as the if you like the expression of Parvati is the idea behind why Parvati is shown like an ordinary woman. In a way, it is elevating all of womankind to the level of Parvati. So please remember this. So, in effect, look, you know why India is perhaps progressing so well in the recent years? It is because these Parvatis have been asked to stop just cooking and cleaning and enter greater society and participate in greater society. That is why India is waking up, because half the workforce was kind of tied up in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning. Now that half force is allowed to participate in greater society, so whole society benefits. Very interesting thing to explore. Look, I love to talk about Shakti, because my mentor Sri Ramakrishna was a Shakto. He loved the Mother Goddess, He didn't want Father God, sorry. Anyway, sorry, I went on.
No, that was a great explanation, sir. I love the idea of Shakti and bowing down to Mother Goddess. It's so beautiful and so empowering. So I think, sir, when people worship Mother Goddess, they tend to be charged up, and it seems to charge them up. And we see in Bengal this Durga Puja where they have the image of Mother Goddess and they worship for 9 days and then do Visarjan.
Then there's something interesting people don't know. You see, when you want to worship, say, the Mother Goddess in the villages in India, say Bengal, they don't have stones, they don't have marble, they're poor people, villagers. So what they do is they collect sticks and stones and leaves and flowers and kind of make a kind of interesting feature, looking, say, this is Mother Goddess. Okay, we all bow down to it now. The sticks and stones are told they're Mother Goddess. So we bow down. But then sticks and stones and flowers and leaves will not last too long. Think about it. So in 9 or 10 days, they start to wither. So rather than see them withering, your Mother Goddess withering in your house, it's best to do Visarjan. So they gently take her and say, Mother, time for you to go back home. And we immerse the image in the water, river, so it kind of merges with nature. So this is a beautiful way of exploring the idea of how this idea is used in Bengal. Sorry, I'm digressing quite a lot.
No problem, sir. That's great, sir. So we welcome our viewers, Nandan Anvekar, Sarfaraz Ansari, Venkatesh, Anita Zaveri, and many others. Okay. So coming to, I think one of the viewers just asked on YouTube, idea of Shakti is related to idea of Tantra.
Yes.
So
yes.
What is Tantra? Could you explore on that?
I just touched on it because it has got a very negative kind of image. Why the reason? You see, the deeper vision about the idea of Tantra mark, which is one of the pathways of Hindus, not the Vedantis, Tantra is separate, is this. He says there are different ways of being spiritual, and sometimes I say if you become focused in one point and in any field, you become spiritual. And that's one way, without reference to word religion even. In the same way, Tantra is saying, look, this is how, for example, the Jains will say to be spiritual, just follow ahimsa to the letter, be a stickler for ahimsa, don't kill even an insect. They're sticklers, and through that process we become spiritual. So we have adopted many different ways for being spiritual. Now, Tantra was one of the ways we adopted. Now, the idea behind this is the pure idea, and what is turned into a very kind of nasty scenario. The pure idea is this. When we look at the universe, we all notice it. Straightway, when we see an image, when we see a person, when we see a situation, a news item, whatever, we immediately polarize our minds to be either aversion, we don't like it, I don't like it, or attraction. Oh, good, I become ticklish. So this is how the whole of humanity, or whole of living kingdom, interacts with the greater world. they immediately polarize the greater world as either attraction or aversion. Isn't it interesting? Just think, even when I look at somebody, there's always a mixture of I like this face, but I don't like his character. I start doing aversion in a way all the time. Aversion, attraction is the way I polarize and view the world. Fair enough. Now you see, we have caught on to this. We say that if you can rise above the mind becoming polarized with any event or anything you encounter as aversion or mixture of aversion and attraction, if you can stop the mind polarizing like this, then you see reality in its true color. What an interesting idea. And try it, and it works. So the idea of Tantra was purely that. That's a pure idea of Tantra. But then what happened is they said, okay, in order to do that, well, let's do some weird things. So they make you feel, I can't have it, and you must go above it. Oh, this is so attractive, you must get attracted by it. Like female, don't be attracted by the gender attraction. And so, you can even, drink, blood or whatever, because aversion must be gone away, must be kicked out. So they were using all these weird ways to rise above attraction and aversion. So that particular practice become is called the left-handed pathway, or the Vama Marg in the Hindu tradition, saying we don't recommend it. It has been tried, it does work, but we would not recommend it for the greater public because it is very dangerous, because you can easily get waylaid. So you lose sight of your real intention and kind of get carried away with, getting drunk and having sex and orgies and all that. So that is why it is called a Vama Marg. So we say avoid it. Choose the better path, the right pathway rather than the left-handed pathway. That's called the Vama Marg.
Are you saying that Tantra should only be practiced if you have someone who's actually able to guide you?
Absolutely. If you try and do it your own self or set up a little group practicing Tantra, you're going to turn into a very, very crass, highly unacceptable way of approaching the idea of religion or spirituality. So there are lots of movements. For example, if you want to sell something like be disciplined, practice celibacy, people will not come near you. You say, let's practice sex. Oh, sex and spirituality. Yes, wonderful. So straightway there are some gurus who deliberately encourage this idea of Tantra because they can get a big following immediately. There's one guru in India, I won't mention his name, and because he was promoting this idea, he had a huge following and 100 Rolls Royce at his mercy and all that. So we are saying not a good pathway. So none of his disciples have ever achieved spiritual enlightenment, so it's not working, so stop it. So we prefer this kind of much more sober way of looking at spirituality, and that's what we suggest.
Thank you, sir. One question Sarfaraj Ansari asked is about reincarnation. He's saying this hypnotherapy, regression therapy, is it authentic? Would it give you past life experience?
Yes. Okay. In fact, Professor Ian Stevens, who started doing research in reincarnation at University of Virginia, thought this is perhaps the best way to explore reincarnation, because it's easy, perhaps not that difficult to put people under hypnotic regression state and ask them to go back so they say, oh, I'm a baby, I'm a child, oh, I'm somebody else, and they talk about different lifestyle. So it was in a nice way to explore reincarnation. This Professor Ian Stevenson tried to do, perfectly fine. In no time he found that in many of the cases that he was exploring, the people who were sent into this hypnotic regression state were actually daydreaming. So they were creating themselves to be heroes, I'm Alexander and I'm Cleopatra and all that. So he said, there can't be so many Cleopatras reincarnating in my study. So he knew straight away this in a way, there's a risk that the person who's talking about a previous life is something that is a daydream that person is inventing, and it's not real, genuine reincarnation. So that is why he stopped using hypnotic regression to explore this idea of reincarnation. So at the same time, I've actually studied serious cases of very interesting personalities, well-known personalities in the media, etc., who have gone under hypnotic regression and given account about their previous life, which can be checked out. Incredible. There's one actor who went to hypnotic regression, and he came out saying, he started speaking, in that state, he started speaking in very unusual French, which is not used in modern France. So they got a linguist, and this guy is talking about the French that was spoken about 200 years ago. So when that person talked about his life as a Frenchman who lived 200 years ago, it fitted perfectly. So there are wonderful examples of why or how hypnotic regression can be useful. But again, I would say be careful, because you see, you're in a way opening a can of worms. When you try and explore your past life, it may have such weird material, such perhaps horrendous experiences that become visible now. So it may upset you, it may in a way make you disjointed with the present life. So it's not recommended. But in some cases where a person is struggling with serious psychotic illnesses, like for example frightened of this or that or whatever, sometimes because this issue has been created in his past life. It has to be faced up to. So hypnotic regression allows him to go through the difficult experience and get over it. So the psychotic problems he's suffering from, psychological problems, it can be averted. So there is a useful role for hypnotic regression, but again it comes as with this health warning, you're opening up a can of worms, you don't know what's going to turn up. So perhaps it's not such a clever idea.
Great, sir. Thank you for that. Sir, this week we saw in the news that Peter Scofield came out at the age of 65 that he said he's gay. And, you know, I was working with a person who had a wife and 2 children, and he was near about 55 as well. And then he came out, oh, I want to become a woman. So what is going on, sir, with these people? And what is your take on this?
Indeed, look, majority of people of the Abrahamic tradition, majority, not all, majority of people from the Abrahamic tradition will see these individuals as, if you like, evil, monsters, they're unnatural. These are the language they'll use. How can you be attracted to the same gender? You can't procreate, so it's wrong, it's unnatural. Even the secular lobby, until very recently, were making fun of people who are gay. You know, it was usual to kind of make fun of people that called poofs and all that. So this was normal until very recent times. Only in the recent past we've matured enough to recognize and give them dignity, especially the United Kingdom. Until very recently in India, homosexuals were persecuted. Can you believe that? So what is our own take as the Hindu? Our take is as follows. We are saying that because of we are strongly kind of connected with the idea of reincarnation, we are saying in a way reincarnation gives the best explanation of why some people are automatically attracted to the same gender. We say the reason is this. Sorry, my camera goes all over the place. So we say when a person, suppose a human being an individual has been born as a male over many lifetimes, and during each lifetime he found the female very attractive. Understandable, it's kind of a strong force driving the whole of creation. You can't stop it. So he finds the female very attractive, he gets attached, his mind gets attached to the idea of female as woohoo, yahoo, and he's always chasing out females. This happens not in one lifetime, even in the animal life is there. It comes in the human life, it's still there, the attraction to the opposite gender, strongly inbuilt in all of us. Can't avoid it. We've gone through that experience and lovely experience. Oh, such a fruitful experience. So we are, in a way, all of us are kind of strongly attracted to the opposite gender. Now suppose there's a male attracted to the female over many lifetimes. That's fair enough. And then, because reincarnation is the thing that is moving from one life to another life, doesn't have a gender. It's just a mindset that you possess. So suppose that individual, for whatever reason, is now born in a female body. Trouble. Because the mindset is still male. So he still finds a female attractive, but his body is now male. So he's a male attracted to another male. So he's, a person who's actually changing genders is attracted to the same gender because his mindset is like this. So there's a disjoint between the mind and the body that creates this attraction for the same gender. If you see that, you say, wow, this is fantastic, because it gives you insight regarding why some people are gay. And by the way, Manish Bhai, in days to come, at the moment they are saying about 10% of people are gay. Mm-hmm. In days to come, there will be more. Do you know why I'm saying this without any hesitation? Because you see, there's a role reversal in society. In the earlier times, male, they were kind of breadwinners and so on, and ruling the household. But there's now gender switch now. So males are now happily, doing the housework and looking after the children. Because of the role reversal in society itself, there will be more and more cases of gay people appearing in our world. See, this is natural. If you recognize why some people are gay, you give them full dignity. So if the Hindu comes to people like Peter Scofield, will say, wonderful, don't worry, you're just switching genders, you're a bit mixed up now. But there's nothing evil about it. So we can give them real dignity, not just artificially, oh, we are good people, so we'll pet you on the back. We are a nice boy, don't worry. Mm-hmm. We don't say stuff like that. This is hypocritical. Inside we say, no, it's a weirdo. But according to Hinduism, he's no weird. He's as good as us. We may have switched genders, God knows how many times. Mm. So once we recognize, we can give them true dignity. Other religions cannot do it. They don't have reincarnation, so they can't give the true dignity that they deserve. Only we can do that. I hope Peter Scofield listens to this program and says, "Yahoo, I'm okay now."
So, sir, you are suggesting that as Hindus, we should recognize these people, gays, transgenders, and give them equal rights in every field so that they can live their life full with dignity.
Look, when you look at the people in the ancient India, the gay people had a role in society. They were given a special role. They were very good entertainers. And look at the TV, after 10 o'clock, switch on any TV channel, mostly the presenters are of that particular field. So the gay people are also finding, if you like, expression in the media, in modern media. In ancient India, we had the same thing. They were very good entertainers. So they had respect. In fact, one of the unique features is, I find it a bit interesting, is when there's a marriage ceremony, they invite the hijadas, they're called hijadas in India, to come and perform. So they're getting a kind of role in society, saying, you are auspicious people, come and perform. Look at the time of wedding, they say, you are auspicious. So you see, we always give. But then the British, the Victorian British law appeared on India, and we adopted anything Victoria gave. We say, yes, Mother Goddess, we'll accept it. We made Victoria Mother Goddess, and we paid a heavy price, because all the Victorian law is outdated and not really suited to India. We adopted, and until very recently, we are using the Victorian law to persecute the gay people in India. God help us. See, our beautiful part, we abandoned for Victoria. And Victoria must be smiling, so okay, let's go ahead now.
Sir, welcome to Pratik Garg. Pratik, we do recognize that with Facebook, the video is tilted. Is there any possible we can turn it?
Yeah, I'm sure we can. Let's try it. I'm not a good technical person.
So we will just wait a few minutes whilst we try to. You can't. Oh, no, we can't. It's saying.
Oh, here you are. I think we should be all right. Ask
Pratik. I think it's
still
like 90 degrees, so
Pratik,
we can't put it on there.
Just do like this and watch it. Sorry about this.
Sorry, we don't have Nishit Bhai
so we get those complications. But never mind,
we have problems.
We are doing our best.
But we are live on YouTube as well. So if you are having problems on Facebook, you can go to youtube.com / Hindu Academy
UK, Hindu Academy UK.
And watch it on there. There it is fine, I think. So we have this fun and games. Okay, continuing on with the questions, sir. We had a viewer asking, she had these Jehovah's Witnesses witnessing her house. And you see these Jehovah's Witnesses, they are so active. And we see them everywhere. You know, when I'm going to, even dropping kids to school, I see them near to a tube station. So it's like they're everywhere and promoting their ideas. So she's saying, how do I discuss Dharma with Jehovah's Witness?
Simple answer, with great difficulty. But let me just tell you. You see, every religion will have certain movements which are highly cultish, is the right word. They are fixated on some idea which perhaps don't make sense to a common man, but they are fixated on it. In the way these cults continue to survive. In fact, Christianity has got, I think, 190 denominations. And one of the great, Christian ministers, I was friendly, he said, Mr. Lakhani, like it or not, Jehovah's Witness is one of our group members. So we say one of the denominations of Christianity. So we can't, kind of refute them. So they survive. Let them continue. Same is true in Hinduism. There are certain cultish movements, I won't mention them by name, who are very cultish, fixated on some specific thing, they blinkered way, and looking Hinduism, and they kind of are equally, tricky. And there are some religions that are also like that. I won't mention them by name either. If you ask a child from a young age to keep plugging in, repeating the same material to a youngster, they become brainwashed. Any repetition will produce a brainwashed individual, good or bad. Whatever you do. That's why if you practice some good things with your youngster, they will pick it up. But if you practice them, give them some wrong information, and it's been rubbed into them day and night, they are asked to memorize this stuff, then they are brainwashed. And it's very dangerous. In Hinduism also we have that. Watch it. So when you become brainwashed, trouble. Because now you are like a record player. So when you interact with anybody else from another tradition or within your own tradition, as soon as you start talking to them in normal, commonsensical manner, they will switch off and switch on the tape recorder. I read in my doorstep and I enjoy. They switch on the tape recorder. If you don't agree with it, you're going to hell and all that. I say, okay, I'm ready to go to hell, but please, at the moment you are making life hell for me now, so please go away. So my interaction, I'm not trying to demoralize this particular movement, but I would say if you brainwash, it's impossible to communicate, including the Hindu movement. There are certain Hindu groups who are brainwashed. Some Hindu cultish movements are brainwashed, I'm warning you. So the youngsters, when you start talking to them in a sensible manner, they will immediately pick up their switch on the tape recorder and start and say, okay. you win, my friend, because there's no way you can interact. They don't want to interact. This is one-sided, communication, and you cannot win. So if you say, how do you deal with this particular moment? I say, with great difficulty, I would simply say, give them a cup of tea, some biscuits, and say goodbye. We wish you well. Don't worry. You are perhaps on the right path, and I'm on the wrong path, but so be it. So
let them progress on their own way.
Let's just
we carry on with ours.
Yeah, just be humble and just be, nicely and gentle with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people you can't be gentle with them; they'll overrun you. Be careful.
Another question on WhatsApp we had was Nisakaran asking, why is the concept of karma fair when I can't remember what I did in a previous life, but I still have to pay for the karma that I did?
Okay, it's such a good thing to again explore idea of law of karma again and again with the Hindus, because they get it wrong, seriously wrong. This is oversimplistic interpretation of law of karma. So there's some mechanism saying, I saw you did something bad here, so in your next life, whether you know it or not, I'm going to whack you. Some kind of, artificial intelligence controlling your future and smacking you in the next life. There's no such thing. Please recognize it. Then you don't feel worried. There is something bad and something bad is going to happen. This is how it progresses. Why? This is the important way of looking at law of karma. Every activity you do is going to leave a mark on your psyche. It's come on. Suppose something good, I feel nice. That's did something bad, horrible. This leaves a mark on me, and that mark is indelible. You can't rub it away. It's going to stay part of your constitution, part of your being, in your mind. So that mindset you created for yourself, by the way you lived your life, good or bad or mixed, mostly it's mixed, is going to stay with us forever and ever. Like it or not, it's already indelible. You can't rub it away. So what happens is this: when you're reborn, that mark stays with you. So the fact that you were doing something positive and you felt nice and warm will again reappear, because that's your character now. So it will flourish there again in new life and produce the results which can be beneficial. And suppose you've been nasty, etc., that stays with you, and again in your next life that again resurfaces as making you do nasty things perhaps. So that is how it catches up. There's no external mechanism, I'm watching you. Your own character in a way carries the seeds of your future progress. So this is how the law of karma catches up with us. It is seeds are sown in us, and when you go to a new life, the seeds again sprout and produce those results. If you look at this, it's so mature. Then there's no mechanism saying, okay, even though I don't know why. The fact is, you already carried the seeds, and they are resurfacing, resprouting in the new life. Recognize it as such, and then you can live through it. In fact, many things go wrong for me, and I say, why? It must be something churning up within me that is making things go wrong for me, but not some external being saying, "Lo, karma, I catch you." There's no such thing. Remember that. You are carrying your own, future progress.
Super, sir. Coming back to reincarnation. No, sorry. I'm lost again. Okay. Take another question from a viewer.
We do all these programs. We are not Bollywood. We don't want this external razzmatazz. We just do it in a very natural, gentle manner. There is no problem about getting this, camera wrong way around. We just smile and carry on.
Okay, so a question from Gautam. Is Brahman aware of itself or unaware? If aware, then Brahman is experience. If not, it is just existence. Please clarify.
You see, I can see this guy is strongly charged about Sri Ramana Maharshi. These are the standard stuff that he used to face. Let me touch on it. It's very important. The first divide we have when we see reality is the following. It's the reality which is called subject-object divide. How can you experience something unless there is a subject-object divide? Me is a subject, making sense of the world, object, whether I call it Brahman or whatever. So this division of subject-object is the first division we observe. According to Advaita Vedanta, which I subscribe to, they are saying this division in a way causes conflict straight away. In reality, there is no two, non-dual, Advait, no two. So subject-object divide is not acceptable. So Brahma itself is itself of the nature of consciousness. So how can it be whether it is self-conscious or not conscious? It's a secondary issue. So when the subject-object division is demolished, there is no thing like, I am aware of myself. There's no such thing. You are awareness itself. So this is the way of answering. This is a very philosophic question, and I'm trying to give you a philosophic answer. A lot of our viewers will find it very tricky. So what is he on about now? But this is the philosophic answer. The subject-object divide can say, I am aware of this. So if Brahman is making a subject-object division, then you can ask the question, is he aware of himself? No, there is at the level of no division, there is no person being aware of himself. He is awareness itself. So I can't elaborate anymore. It's become very. See, these are very esoteric questions, but it's good to explore them. But at the same time, recognize the limitation of language and intelligence. Not because we are running away from being intelligent, but this subject-object divide is the first division, and this is the reason why this question cannot be answered saying it's not self-aware; it is awareness itself.
Okay. We welcome Balram Puran story so far, and many others. A question from Paul Elliott. How does reincarnation move?
Paul Elliott, you asked me such difficult question. Please carry on. I don't mind.
How does reincarnation move information through time and space?
Ooh, we have to do theory of relativity as well now. No problem. In fact, the subject that I studied at university, that specialized in at master's level, was relativity of Einstein and quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to study stuff like space and time. You see, the reason why you're asking this question is this. Somehow you feel there is fixed space and time, like the background to reality. This is a Newtonian idea. The space and time are fixed. They are the background on which the world does its play. Fixed space and time, and Einstein said, no, space and time are not some external things that are fixed like this, linear and you got lines and graphs. Space and time are very much part of the subjective world. You say, oh dear, how does that happen? So I'm saying there is no external space, external time that tick, 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 tick in the space straight line. In fact, space and time are part of your mental frame. So they are in fact, so you can't say where does mind go, where does it move from in space and time. Space and time are inside your mind, so mind doesn't move from space and time. It's a very important issue to, I touched on this, I love it. Because if space and time are some external fixed entities, then the question will arise, how does reincarnation go? One individual dies, moving in space and time. No such thing, because space and time you carry within you. So space and time are very much part of your mental status, and that is why you don't move, your mind doesn't move in space and time. Space and time goes with the mind. So mind is the mummy, if you like, the real daddy, and space and time within the mind and not external. I hope, Paul, I satisfy you. I'm doing my best.
Super. We just had a question from Electra. What does Bhagavad Gita say about first-hand experience? We have seen that chapter 10 talks about Vishwarupa. Vishwaswarupa. Is that related to that, or?
No, it's good. You see, Bhagavad Gita is in a way the wonderful reconciliation of many different ideas within Hinduism. That's why we love it. That's the source of authority for us Hindus. We focus on the Bhagavad Gita. We swear by the Bhagavad Gita. And it is true. It has got tremendous potent ideas within it. And one of the interesting things is this. When you look at this chapter 10 of Vishwaswarup, Krishna shows Arjuna Vishwaswarup. There are some people who are very cultish, say this shows Krishna is the god of the gods, etc. No. What Krishna showed Arjuna was Brahma Gnan. He said, do you see, my boy? Everything is manifestation of Brahma. All these various gods, goddesses, animals, humans, everything is nothing. Vishwaswarup, the whole of the creation is just me, not me as a personality, the underpinning reality manifesting as this variation, including Krishna. So this is what the Vishwaswarup really means. It's saying you are gaining Brahma Gnan. You are seeing the underpinning to whole of this reality, living and non-living, as Brahma. That is the experience he gave, Arjuna. So Bhagavad Gita is strongly experientially, driven. It doesn't talk as on tinkle bell, ding ding ding, all that. It allows for it, but the real stuff is experience reality in its true color as Brahma. And that is what Vishwaswarup is. And that is why I like this Krishna. He's not fixated on a focus in kind of trying to draw attention to himself. I'm the big boy. No. He's talking the deeper vision of Hinduism, which is principle-oriented and allows for personality-oriented Hinduism to coexist.
Super. That's great answer, sir.
I think I'm slowing down today. What do you think?
Yes, I think you're going really slow. That's good. I hope people are understanding what you're saying. That's most important. So carrying on, the Bhagavad Gita talks about Bhakti Yoga. Do you believe in Bhakti Yoga? Because sometimes you seem to be, anti-Bhakti.
I'm not anti, but I don't focus on it too much because it doesn't attract me personally. But doesn't mean I'm vilifying it. I've never vilified anything. The thing is this. You see, if you are fixated on some personality, then bhakti is the natural flow of your devotion. Because then this devotion is called bhakti. I'm fixated on some personality, Shiva, Mother Goddess, and that particular fixation appears in my life as bhakti, devotion to that particular personality. Understandable? Is there anything wrong with it? No. It's just that my weakness, the only personality I'm fixated on is called Ramakrishna, and he doesn't want me to tinkle bells. So I can't show bhakti towards him. I build a temple. I can't do that. He doesn't want it, so I can't do it. So my devotion is to this modern personality called Ramakrishna, and he doesn't want, this man didn't want temples and all these kind of tinkling bells. He wanted us to become enlightened ourselves. So that is why the amount of time I spend on talking about bhakti is a bit limited. Not because they are wrong, it's because I am limited. I have got this kind of strong slant for this kind of more rational way of looking at religion. That is why when I go to temple, I struggle, to kind of tinkle bell and kind of look at the gods and say, oh, I love you, because I see God in human beings behind me, not in front of me in the images. That is my limitation.
Okay, sir. So someone just talking about J. Krishnamurti on YouTube. Do you want to say something about
Yes.
J. Krishnamurti?
Normally I don't pass comments to elevate or delineate somebody. I give them everybody full respect for what they stand for. And I read a bit of J. Krishnamurti, and I was quite impressed. Very honestly, I was impressed. But somehow it still doesn't appeal to me because I'm kind of in a way caught up by this Ramakrishna Vivekananda chaps. So he is a sensible person talking sensibly. So I have got a lot of respect for this particular group. There are so many others like Swami Yogananda, etc. I respect these people. They are really charged up. And Sri Aurobindo, charged up. But I don't personally, I'm so fixated on this Ramakrishna. They have stolen my heart and mind. I can't focus on other personalities. That's my limitation as well. So I'm talking about all my limitations today.
No problem, sir. Sir, Pratik Gar said maybe we can...
Is the camera okay now?
Probably not, but let's leave it to that. Pratik Garg advised that maybe we should look at going live on Twitter as well, but we'll look at that, Pratik, and come back to you on that.
A gentleman called Sadyogi who is actually promoting our material on Twitter, and we've actually engaged him to do that for us. So we will ask him how we can go live on Twitter as well. Whatever is available, we'll do it. We are trying to also go on Netflix and Amazon Prime. We are trying to get involved with all this. We are not selling anything. We are not asking for donation. We are not asking for your devotion. Not asking any of the viewers to join our club and become part of this, kind of cult or something. We have no such interest whatsoever. Our interest is basically representing some of the most powerful thoughts that we possess, the most potent ideas we possess that we are not even aware of. We're just making you aware of this potent idea. Nothing to do with my personality or Vivekananda. The potent ideas is what's going to hold us. In fact, Manish Bhai, sometimes people will say, oh, Hinduism will be destroyed. I say, how can we be destroyed?
No.
We are not individuals, we are not a country. Hinduism are potent ideas. How can you destroy potent ideas? So we will survive, even though we got these ups and downs, we will survive because ideas survive. And even if they kind of re-emerge in the society, we don't mind. Yes. We have survived in that way.
One of the viewers was saying, can we manipulate people to help us with our work? That's not what we want to do, is it? I mean, we want people to
engage with it.
Engage spiritual, become spiritual, not...
Start a new cult. But thing is this, look, if you really want to help, because I think we are getting extremely warm message. I'm telling you personally, very warm. I can't share them with you. Fantastic personal experiences. A lot of people around the world sending us beautiful material. Now, they say, what can we do? I said, don't want your money. Just if you want to help us, some of these potent ideas that we are putting into the stratosphere, through this media, social media, spread it. We heard about this virus bothering China. This is a kind of a spiritual virus which will help all over the world, not frighten them, but help them. These are potent ideas we possess, and we are presenting them through this media, social media. And that's the easiest and the cheapest way of transmitting this wonderful thing, which are positive. There's nothing demeaning anybody. It's, in a way, refreshing and very, very kind of contemporary way of presenting spiritual ideas.
So what you're saying, sir, is people should educate themselves. We have about more than 2,000 videos on our YouTube channel. So please, view them, educate yourself, and then go out on social media and spread them. We are, looking at spiritualizing the humanity. And that's what we are about. We are not here to manipulate anyone or convert anyone.
Manish bhai, you are getting charged up and getting fired faster and faster. Good for you.
So please help us with that and continue enjoying the show. I think we're coming to 2:45, sir. So maybe we take one or two more questions and then we'll close. In Rigveda, we have this Nasadya Sukta, which talk about creation. And we had a question earlier, I think past week, from Rajat Tyagi. It says, according to Nasadya Sukta, the creation came about due to desire. Is desire based for creation?
Okay. You see, Nasya Sukta can be interpreted in many different ways. They're all short aphorisms, short phrases. And beautiful is very poetic. Remember, it's poetic. So when you analyze it, you destroy the poetry.
Yes.
The poetry is in the beginning was darkness covering darkness. Yoo-hoo. What a wonderful way. Darkness covering darkness. And then you see, then it's actually really, when you look at it at depth, it is talking about a spontaneous creation. Because desire is a human thing. So the underpinning principle cannot have desire. Oh, I have desire, I must do this. You cannot have desire. Desires only become visible as human beings or as living things. I want this, I want to chase after. So the principle that underpins cannot have desire, but it may appear like that the way the verses are presented, because it's a poetic presentation. But the final of the final verse is the killer. And great philosophers throughout the world have commented, this is the most powerful verse that any religion has produced. And this is what it says. See how it's attacking the idea of personal God. Attacking. It says, we don't know how this came about. Maybe he in the highest heaven knows, or perhaps he came afterwards. Means we created him. He was not there before. All the philosophers who studied the Nasadya, so they immediately fold and said, this is the top, highest philosophy. Saying that even God that we are so fixated on, perhaps it's an afterthought. We created God and not God creating the creation. So this is, if you like, the depth of Nasadya Sukta. But there are lots of little verses. And some of them I love, because this idea of the first start, the beginning was darkness covering darkness. It's kind of highest poetry. And at the same time, the last phrase, maybe he in the highest heaven came afterwards. This is a frightening scenario. So people want to believe in God, say, oh dear, what is he on about now? Spontaneous creation.
So viewers who are interested in Nasdya Sukta, Sam Benegal made this series, Bharat Ek Khoj, and beginning title was Nasdya Sukta, and they actually translated it in Hindu, and still it came out quite nice and very, very strong. So, YouTube has got all this material. If you just search for it, you will find it and enjoy it. It's a great thing we have in our scriptures. There's so many wonderful stuff, and yes, it's just ready for us to unearth.
And see, look, this is the earliest scripture in the world. Rig Veda is it's considered by United Nations the earliest religious scripture in the world. And it has got these things like Nasadya Sukta or Purushukta. It's got some powerful material right at the beginning of, if you like, beginning of human beings trying to sort themselves out. So these are very powerful thoughts. Only thing is, we are presenting in a way ideas which are more contemporary. Suppose I was pushing Nasadya Sukta down the throats of modern thinking youngsters, they'll say, it's weird.
What is he talking about?
But if we present ideas which are coming from Vivekananda, they are much more easily digestible, accessible, and you can engage with them. That's what we are trying to do.
Okay, so sir, remaining with this creation, do you believe that the physical and spiritual world are one and same? That was Jonathan Tater's question in previous weeks.
Okay, in fact they are the same. The only thing is our vision needs to change. The same reality we see as ordinary is actually extraordinary. So what we consider as mundane, daily, routine, casual, tiresome, usual, normal, boring stuff is hiding a very extraordinary feature. So seeing extraordinary in the ordinary is what spirituality is all about. And so spirituality in this common world that we are not different. The only thing is our goggles we are wearing need to be kind of cleaned up. That's all. When we clean it up, then we don't see ordinary as ordinary, we see it as extraordinary. So what appears as secular becomes spiritual. So they're strongly intertwined. Same one appearing as different.
Okay, I think
we should finish, I think.
We should finish there.
I'm really apologize for those people who are seeing us upside down, but it's the way. Maybe you are in Australia, then you find it more interesting.
Hopefully you're watching on your phone and then you can turn it. Okay, so we have a YouTube channel with more than 2,000 videos. Please do watch, like, share with others. We are on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Hindu Academy. And we have a Facebook page as well, like and share on that as well. Please continue to support us. Have a good week ahead. We finished with...
No, we finished by telling Manish Bhai. In the beginning, I was running away with my story, faster and faster, because I slowed down. Today I see you getting charged up and running away. I'm smiling, okay, now I have to really slow down.
Right.
And it's been real pleasure, Manish Bhai, to have your company. And I hope what we are saying is in a way enhancing people regarding who they are and what this world is all about.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We finished with Swami Vivekananda quote. Swami Vivekananda says, strength is weakness, and strength is life, and weakness is death. So be strong, be positive, be good, and have a nice week ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.